Today, I want to share a few surprisingly simple habits that can boost your happiness and life satisfaction, especially in retirement. These come from researcher Dan Buettner, who spent over 20 years studying the world's happiest and longest-living people. You might have heard of his work with National Geographic and something called the Blue Zones, which is places where people not only live longer, but truly thrive. If you're new to the channel, hi, my name is Julia Maka, certified financial planner, and normally on this channel we talk about things like, can I afford to retire? Because obviously that's a big part of what I do as a financial planner. But as we discuss in a few of my videos, a meaningful retirement is not just about the money, it's about health, purpose, and joy. So from time to time I do love talking about the lifestyle side of retirement too. So back to Dan Buettner. After traveling the world and researching communities in places like Okinawa, Japan, Aria, which is in Greece, Sardinia, Italy, Nicoya, Costa Rica, and Loma Linda, California, he discovered key habits that help people not just live longer, but live happier too. My husband Eric and I were particularly drawn to the documentary on Netflix called Live to 100 Secrets of the Blue Zones. Not just because we're retirement planners, but because Eric's oldest brother, Peter, lives in Okinawa with his family and frequently shares how healthy and delicious his in-laws' food is and the active lifestyle that their community keeps. Here in America, we tend to separate from our families as children, age out, right? The kids live at home until 18, and then if they go to college, they move out, likely to never return again unless, of course, they need help. We as a country tend to prioritize independence, which of course can lead to great successes and certain avenues of life. But when it comes to our general sense of happiness, this principle can hurt. In Okinawa, children don't often move very far at all. In fact, it's common and expected for multiple generations to live together, or at least within walking distance. Grandparents, parents, and grandchildren are deeply involved in each other's lives. Peter and his family eat dinner at his wife's parents' house almost every night of the week. More on this in a bit. Okay, back to how to retire happy. Here's what's really interesting. Dan says that there are actually 3 types of happiness. One is that joy in the moment, those little bursts of happiness we feel in everyday life. Like, hearing your child or grandchild laugh unexpectedly, or stepping outside and feeling a cool breeze on your face, those little things. Number 2 is life satisfaction, which is that deeper, slower burning happiness, for example, sitting on your porch at the end of the day and thinking about your life, right? Where you've been, what you've built. All the wonderful people around you, you're proud of what you've created. Everything's not perfect, but you feel content and grateful and at peace with where you are. The 3rd type of happiness is purpose, which is that deep sense that your life matters and contributes to something beyond yourself. We talk about this a lot in my videos, the importance of having a purpose after you retire. It's easy to have purpose when you're working, right? Or at least for those who don't hate their jobs. In retirement, it's crucial to find a deeper meaning to your life and nurture that every day, such as helping raise your grandkids, volunteering, mentoring young professionals, whatever that looks like for you. Together, these 3 types of happiness create a foundation for a deeply satisfying life. So what are some of the habits that help bring them to life? Here are the 8 most impactful ones Dan found in his research habit. 1 is to prioritize sleep. Happy people consistently sleep 8 to 9 hours a night, which is about 25% more than the average American. I know for a fact that when I don't get at least 7 hours of sleep, I am way less likely to be a happy camper. And this is common knowledge, right? We all know that we need ample sleep to function at our highest capacity, but it's not just about getting rest, it's about getting repair. Sleep directly impacts our immune system, our memory and cognitive ability, our moods and emotional resilience, and our ability to make good decisions throughout the day. Unfortunately, as we age, sleep is not always easy to come by, and if you struggle with it, you're certainly not alone. At 37 years old, I'm a bit of a sleep freak as my body desperately needs an up to power me through my busy day with my work and my 2 small kids. And I'm no doctor, but I'll share a few habits that I have started to swear by recently. First, I wake up early, like 4:30 or 5 o'clock a.m. most mornings. I drink my cup of coffee in the quiet before my family wakes up and I exercise. Exercise is absolutely key to me. Sleeping well. I have a lot of energy and it needs to go somewhere, so even a light workout is great for me. I like to walk and get the sunshine directly into my eyeballs to give my circadian rhythm the message that it's the morning time. By the late afternoon evening after being awake for, over 12 hours, I'm genuinely tired. I take magnesium and drink sleepy tea to wind down, and I usually get to sleep and stay asleep pretty well. All right, enough preaching from me on to Dan's habit number 2, which is to eat a plant-based breakfast. Now this one definitely caught me off guard. I'm not a vegetarian or a vegan, and I don't even know if Dan is, but he does talk about how important. It's to start the day with vegetables or, some other healthy start. And I'm wondering if that's more about just eating a healthy breakfast than it is eating a vegetarian breakfast. I start off my day with eggs and sausage, our whole family does. And getting that amount of protein in the morning really helps our energy, and I think it helps our mood throughout the day as a family. Habit number 3 is to nurture your friendships. Strong friendships are one of the most powerful predictors of happiness, and yet, as we get older, staying in touch takes effort between work, caregiving, and life transitions. It can be easy to let connections fade. Dan recommends making time to see friends at least once a week, and not just family. Those intentional moments of connection, whether it's laughter or even tears, truly make a difference. We have a few single female clients who live with their friends in retirement, and they report feeling a sense of togetherness and belonging in what would otherwise be a pretty lonely retirement. Their kids have their own busy lives and their spouses have passed on, and so they get to enjoy their everyday life with their friends by their side, plus they save money. Okay? Habit number 4 is to give back happy people, volunteer, or give their time in some meaningful way at least once a month. Whether it's helping out at a local, nonprofit, mentoring, or being part of something bigger than yourself, giving back brings a deep sense of fulfillment and purpose. And if you're interested in the science behind this, look up the book Flourish by Martin Seligman. It's a beautiful deep dive into what really supports our well-being. Habit number 5. Be part of a faith or spiritual community. Now, this isn't about one specific religion, or even religion at all necessarily. It's about the structure and support that come from regularly gathering with others who share your values. It's about belonging to something bigger than yourself, and being reminded week after week that you're not walking through life alone. In the Netflix documentary, we see an older woman in Sardinia, who attends Mass every Sunday, not just for worship, but to see her lifelong friends, exchange hugs and news, sing familiar songs, and reflect on something greater. Or an Adventist in Loma Linda who spends Saturday in rest, worship, and community, not scrolling through social media or rushing errands, but actually pausing. These routines do reduce stress, create accountability, and anchor people in rhythm, reflection, and connection. In retirement, when routines often fall away and identity shift, this kind of structure becomes more important. So going to church, temple, mosque, meditation group, even a spiritual group, the effect is the same. Next, habit number 6 is to take a midday nap. I laugh because I couldn't do that. I'm just too wired of a person. But my Aunt Susan, who has, great health and incredible energy at age 70, takes a 1 to 2 hour nap every day that she can. This is longer than the 10 to 20 minutes that Dan recommends, but nonetheless, she says it restores her energy and focus. Now, if you're like me and can't nap, well, you can always do a guided meditation, or just sit in silence and listen to your breath for 5 or 10 minutes. Research shows that brief naps or meditations enhance cognitive function, especially in areas like learning, problem-solving, and attention. Okay, habit number 7 is to work a little bit in retirement. Now, at first, this might seem counterintuitive, right? 'Cause you just retired. But working, Even if it's just very little, part-time in some meaningful way on your own terms. It gives you a sense of purpose, keeps you socially connected, keeps your mind engaged, and provides, of course, financial flexibility. This isn't something that you do forever, but it can certainly ease the transition from full-time work to full-time retirement. And lastly, habit number 8 is to be thoughtful with screen time. Now, this is a message for everyone, regardless of age, right? We all need to get off our screens more and get into being present with our families, friends, and other important people in our life. Now, obviously, right now, you're on social media. I'm sitting here on your screen, so don't watch it. Too much less, I'm just kidding. But in all seriousness, Dan recommends limiting TV and social media to about 30 minutes a day. I'm trying to get there myself. In retirement, time becomes your most valuable asset. But screens are designed to steal that. What starts as just a minute can easily turn into hours lost to passive scrolling or binge watching. Also, excessive screen use, especially at night, makes it harder for us to sleep, which we establish as the most important habit in number 1. You can put reminders on your iPhone after a certain amount of screen time to help motivate and remind you to get off and do something more useful with your time. Try it out if you tend to struggle with this. So these are the 8 habits of the happiest people on earth, according to Dan Buttner. I'd love to know which one stands out to you folks that are watching. Is there one that you're already practicing? Or maybe one that I didn't mention? Please let us know below as we can all learn from each other, and I'll see you next time.